Oh shit.
Hello? Hello? Alright, cool. That is way too much effort to fucking get that out of the stream and just upload it. My god. My Pepsi is frozen as fuck. Alright, let's check out those new main levels. Phantom. In it for cheap thrills. Safety in the sun. There's Shibuya. And I hear Stroke of Misfortune. I already heard it. Heard it a mile away. Alright, Stroke of Misfortune and Shibuya are interesting, because those levels don't even have advanced versions. So, they're gonna come with them in this game. But, alright, Tiasu Phantom. Tiasu is the same artist for shared buffer memory, yeah. Oh, is that the new bullet? Oh, I fucking knew it. I had a feeling this would be added eventually. Oh, I fucking knew it. This is a good song. I knew the ricochet bullets had to come eventually. These ones are actually bullet shaped. The first time we can actually call them bullets. Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Not the gravity with these things. That is so weird. I definitely could have no-hitted that, but I got hit when I was still processing the bullets. That's fine. I typically go through and record all the completions off-stream anyways, because the off-stream video quality is far superior. Alright, Alright, so that was easy. This is normal. People are gonna make some wacky shit with this. Trying to make a banger challenge. That was close. God, this is trippy. Damn it. I got pranked. This is gonna take some getting used to. This part scares me the most out of the entire level. This shit is just fucked. What is this? This isn't a normal difficulty level pattern. That ending is probably gonna suck for this level. Alright, what's the challenge? Oh yeah, the center. I forgot about that. Can't go in the center. This is a very interesting spot to be for this pattern. But for some reason it was working. What the fuck is happening? That's yeah, that's a challenge, I guess. What the fuck? It's basically find the safe spot, the level. Alright, there's a safe spot. Easy challenge. Then I just have to not fuck up the heart again, because I keep doing that for some reason. Yeah, I don't think pinning the cursor to a specific spot in the arena would work. You kind of have to move a little bit. I swear to God, I'm bad. I just need to go to the other side of the bubbles. What am I doing? Alright, easy challenge. The homing! Damn, no grazed points. What am I even doing? Alright. And for cheap thrills by Turing's Ghost. This is gonna be fun. You already know. Very interesting music. Homing jump scare. This song is fucking good. Hopefully in the advanced version, the level itself has a bit more energy. Always spinning. Yeah, I agree. Oh, that is satisfying to look at. Cool. Really good song. Level was a bit slow paced, but I won't complain because we happen to have levels like shared buffer memory on the list, so I will not complain too much about getting a slower paced level. But we still have advanced. Right, yeah. I probably should have been on top. Sometimes you just gotta improvise, you know? I forgot about the center enemy. Yeah, use every filter. Shit, there goes the heart. You have to be inside that? Oh my god. This level is wacky. Very doable for the most part, though. There's nothing super crazy like that ending pattern in Phantom. That was the point range. We're good. Guys, I think I need to get my glasses checked. Oh, it's the level. Okay, sorry. Let's go. Alright, that should be very beatable. I just need to remember to not go in the center, because you can't. You literally cannot. There's an enemy there. The enemy doesn't even do anything. Alright, challenge. Okay. Horizontal movement only. I don't really look at the icons before I play. No. No. No, don't do that. Stop it. Stop. Okay. RNG level. Let's go. You know what? It's an RNG level. I don't want to put an effort for it right now. Alright, safety in the sun. Nitsua. Lost in translation, dude. I recognize those names. So this is probably gonna be a chill level. Hopefully. Well, actually, even Lost in Translation wasn't entirely chill. That level was kind of hard. Mainly the advanced version. The advanced version was kind of ass. You know, James, until you said that message, I noticed that it was only using the center enemy. What I didn't notice is that the outer enemies are fucking domes. I didn't even notice that until now. I was not focusing on that. That's a cool effect, though. Okay, it is using the outer enemies. Fun fact, I am like a massive piano enthusiast. So like, these songs make me nut. Oh yeah, reversed piano is like one of the best things in music. Damn, that was like the easiest level in the entire game. Which I am absolutely fine with. Still no graze points. I'm anti-graze. This is a very chill update so far. Of course, we still have Shibuya and Stroke of Misfortune, which, assuming their original versions are the normal versions, I'm kind of terrified of the harder versions of those levels. Because, both of those levels are kind of difficult, especially Stroke of Misfortune. So, oh boy. Yeah, I'm Gracist. Gracist. I've noticed that the harder versions of the main levels really like to use effects a lot more. Because it does actually impede the gameplay a bit when you have trouble seeing the level. What the fuck? Art, come here. Art, come here. Come in the arena, come on. It's safe, come on. Art, come here. Come on. Come on, get in here. Come on, buddy. You can come in. You can come in. The bullets won't hurt you. Oh, that's clever. Okay. He uses gravity to pull it out. That's cool. This is a very bad spot to be, not gonna lie. Discord ping. This is probably the most difficult advanced level in the update so far, not gonna lie. Yo, can somebody give me a pencil? Yo, there's something I want to check really quick. I don't know how the like practice checkpoints work, but I wanted to see if the main levels had any. Safety in the sun. Oh, this is a good. Wait. Okay, so you don't... those are bubbles, don't go there. Don't touch those. This is a very satisfying color palette. Ah, bitch. Alright, another easy challenge. I just got fucked by that pattern that I didn't really have a way to see coming. Alright. Oh boy. Advanced Shibuya terrifies me, but we've already played the normal level. Let's get it. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. Geek covers. This is nostalgic. As the classic levels probably should be, you know. They're literally just levels from the first game. What if in the advanced version it just replaces all of these with the ricocheting bullets? That would be awful. Bad spot. Bad spot to be at the end of that pattern. Easy. By the way, this is the ST Plus, this is the original, Shinjuku, by the way, for reference. This is the level that Shinjuku is supposed to reference. No grays. Let's go! Let's keep the streak up! Alright, I'm terrified of what this advance is gonna be, like, I'm actually shitting. Oh, great start. Great start. Wow, I love burst starts. Almost as good as burst endings. Well, actually, if it repeats this pattern, it is gonna have a burst ending. What is that? Is that just an effect that made it look like that? It looks like the bullets were surrounded by like a fucking aura. Got those fucking dogma bullets. Got the Mickey D's color scheme. Honestly, so far for this section, like this section in particular, this gameplay is a lot easier than the normal version. Like, this is seriously a lot easier than the original. Minus the beginning so far. The beginning is a lot harder. Okay, that's the difficulty spike. Yeah, tower. God, I hate the ricochet bullet burst. I don't know what they're called. I don't know what the bullet type is called. Have you looked in the editor? Do you know what the official name for those are? They're probably just called bullets. Alright, yeah, burst ending. That was a lot less difficult than I thought it would be. Because, the hardest parts of the original level were actually made easy in this level. But the hardest part is the beginning, which I'm very fine with. Because, it doesn't take you 3 minutes to get to the beginning of the level. Oh, we're big. Oh, we are big. Oh, oh, we are doing the twist shenanigans this challenge. Alright, that's easy. I mean, it's hard, but it's really short, so it's fine. Rubber. They're called rubber? I mean, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but they should have been called boing bullets, of course. Alright, stroke of misfortune. Alright, we are getting an expert stroke of misfortune. Which is terrifying. This is a hard level. But, the advanced version of Shibuya was kind of just like a completely different level. So, I should keep an open mind. I wonder how this would work since Stroke of Misfortune is on the SD Plus list, and now it's in SD2 as an official level. Man, I love MRI Core. You know what, actually, I just realized, one of the hardest parts of, Stroke of Misfortune is that there is a bunch of lag spikes at a certain point in the level due to the amount of bullets on the screen. That might not be an issue now that we're in SD2. The lag fix. Finally. Yeah, this is the part that would lag. Those big waves around the arena would just absolutely destroy the game in SD+. Which made dodging the following sections a bit tricky. Wow! Wow, that's how you're supposed to do that, yeah. Damn, I got time warped. You just got time warped. Yeah. Alright, Stroke of Misfortune is really fun. Unfortunately, I got Time Warp, so I do not have the S+. But hey, let's check out the advanced version. I'm sure it's going to be very, reasonably difficult. Terror. Damn it, I should have stayed on my side. I thought it was gonna screen clear or something. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I guess. I'm literally just directly above the enemy that fires that at all times. Oh, what the hell? Yeah, the fast ripples represents the sound quite well. Oh, my eyes! Oh god, I can't see! Fucking why? Oh my god! Why is it like that? Like, actually, why? That's terrible. Yeah, don't play this level past your bedtime. Well, that was definitely interesting. There were two hard parts. There's some part near the beginning that I thought was pretty hard, and two, not getting your eyeballs fried off. What the fuck? He literally replaced the lag from SD Plus and replaced it with fucking eye destruction in this version. God damn it. I would prefer the lag. Ow. I mean, that's the last expert level. So far, the set of levels seems a lot easier than anything we've gotten before. Though we have a Shadow Clone challenge, so... Run. Oh, God. Oh, dear. Oh, there goes the heart. Well, that's a hell of a challenge. Yeah, if the shadow clone touches you, it counts as like a bullet hitting you. I think it'll take some getting used to, but overall I think it's more of a memory level. All the patterns are consistent. You just gotta learn it. Yeah, that should be doable. It looks very intimidating. I didn't even finish it, so I don't even get a percent for it. This is a very interesting set of levels, with a couple of questionable choices. Mainly referring to Stroke of Misfortune, Eye Destruction. Yeah. Alright, there's something that needs to be addressed right away. Right away. It's been a while, so I probably won't first attempt it. I need to relearn it. I'm rusty. And before I even make any progress, let me skip the easy part and start practicing the hard parts. Oh god, I have to relearn this section. I have to relearn the bad section. Where is it? I don't know when in the song it is. The song is long. Alright, still got that section down pretty well. Alright, the real test. It's here. I'm gonna do the most, like unhinged positionings and see if I can hit. Oh, what? My mouse slipped. My mouse slipped. That doesn't count. Alright, this is where it really counts. Okay. I don't think there's any zip arrows, yeah. I do need to practice that again, but one hit in that entire section is not bad. Especially for that last part, which is probably the hardest section. Oh boy, this part. That was a bad positioning by me. That wasn't the Zip's fault, it was my fault. Holy shit, it's fucking fixed. It's over. I can beat it. I can so beat this. I just have to relearn all the actual difficult patterns. It's been a long time. But I've still got most of them down. Yeah, if only. And I died to a pattern that I practiced like so much. Terrible. No, don't restart the practice. It's weird that you can't like quit out of a practice as far as I know. I probably should have practiced the part right before the drop a bit more. But hey, it's good to get the muscle memory for the first part as well. God, I've been conditioned to just get so tense every time I activate the zip. It's gonna take some time getting used to not having to worry that much. Damn it. I'm gonna have to memorize that part of it more, because I don't react quickly enough. I just practice everything from like the pre-drop to the end of the drop. Alright, if I get hit past that point, I'm a failure. So... 2 hits, actually. 2 hits. Still very good for my second attempt. Jesus. I got hit during the part at the very start of the drop, like the bubble and hug section. And then I got hit at the, memory section at the end of the drop. Oh, it plays the music. Oh. Oh, that's really useful. Not really for this song, because the song is really repetitive. But, for other levels, yeah. Yeah. I love getting hit in that section, because you literally can't see what you missed. That's sarcasm. I hate getting hit like that. Believe it or not, yeah. I like to see how I get hit. Must have missed a hug. Since it was so delayed. Yeah, that, like, second part of the mirror section, and maybe there's, like, 2 sections in the memory section there. Those are, like, the main difficult parts. God damn it. Yeah, I can probably get this in a couple attempts. That's annoying. God damn it. Piece of shit. That hog fucking sucks. If I lose a no-hit run to this section, I am a complete failure. Awful. Of course, I die to a section that's basically about timing. No, I just have to make sure I go through hugs quicker. The way you miss that hug is clicking too late. Oh, the hug's at the end. Yeah. I mean, you have to go through them quick because it's fucking tight and you don't have a lot of time. I don't even time it to the music, I just like spatially time it based on if I'm above the bullets, then I just go through. But yeah, I can't go through too quick because hug hitboxes are awful. So it's like balance. You ever just go right through a hug? Yeah, apparently. You have to go like really quick though, especially when you're at higher frame rates. You have to like basically go through them in under a frame. Seems like the cooldown for the zip power-up is shorter now. Maybe I'm hallucinating. That doesn't really impact this level that much, but it certainly feels like it. Man, I've just been conditioned to just feel pure anxiety when I get to this part of the level. Like, it's terrible. Yeah, even after the fix, I'm always so shaky when I do one of the clicks, thinking I'm about to get hit. This part I get anxiety from because it's actually like one of the most difficult parts of the level even without the zip fucking up. How am I so dumb? What is wrong with me? What the fuck? Do I need a therapist to describe how this happens? Wow, I actually sniped that part completely blind. What the genuine fuck am I doing? It's always something. The second I get really good at the hard parts of the level, something has to show up. Something that's never an issue. But hey, getting through the entire level, basically up to the end of the drop twice in a row, not bad. Knowing me, my nerves are somehow gonna have me die in the last part. There's some miracle. feet are cold. I hate winter. Has anyone beaten this in the couple of days since the update came out? Now it's actually playable. That's crazy. Just like how crazy it was I didn't get hit there. Wow. Yeah, I overshot that a bit. Let me do the, let me see if I can do the thing, the funny. It is very precise. I gotta, pin the cursor on the exact point. White flag's still the hardest of those. I should have all the levels minus the bird enemy car, because that's a newer one. But I should have tower downloaded. I might have to double check. And I definitely have white flag and Rayquaza X. Man, this will be very enjoyable if it didn't have this entire like first 3 minutes. My biggest threat of getting hit in the first 3 minutes is accidentally falling asleep while playing. Has anybody beaten white flag other than Mello? Actually, I think I saw Jan post completion video for it. Yeah, Jan's also the one who got Rayquaza X on the list, so supposedly that's possible. Gonna have to replay that one. I might do that before white flag, because that's the one I'm most fucking curious about. Thank God. What an easy level. Wow, so easy. Yeah, that's getting highlighted off of the stream. Alright, Rayquaza X, that's a contest level. What's Rayquaza X about? It seems like a memory level. Also, QZ level.
Look at the picture.
This level is sick, though. I mean, it's QZ level, we knew this.
Frankenstein radio controls the Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio, the Eyesight television, the Frankenstein earphone radio, the Threshold brainwash radio, the latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein.
This level is, really likes the twist shenanigans. Damn! My heart rejected me. I got fucking rejected. I hope those are supposed to be decorations. There was some issue with levels having decoration lasers in places where they weren't supposed to be, so hopefully that's supposed to be like that. Right, so the level's been chill. You know, this has all been doable. Yeah, that last section, that was basically what made me write this level off as impossible. To be fair, it is very much just a memory section. It's just not a memory section I want to learn, ever. Which is why I do not like this level on the list, because now I have to fucking memorize that shit. God damn it, Jan! Why'd you have to do it? Revenge for me getting Gant's Graph added. Gant's Graph is also a memory level. But, for me it was a lot easier memory because you can see the entire arena. Yeah, this level is very much possible. It's just that fucking bubble section. My god. Yeah, I'm not doing this now. I am not beating this. Out of all the 4 levels at the top of the list, I haven't even played one of them, but I'm saving Rayquaza X for last, I can assure you of that. Now, White Flag. I played this once. I played this exactly one time. It is definitely a level, I can assure you of that. is a very cool level. Some interesting patterns. A lot of interesting patterns.
Back together again.
Yeah, I shouldn't have been there.
Didn't get along. Been 4 years since.
On my first attempt, I literally no-hitted this entire intro. I don't know how,
And you were my friend.
but I did.
Those days got away. Hope you find solace in this.
Yeah, and here's where it gets fucky.
I was 50 when I first felt loneliness. Cut my head, only listen to this. Grown apart, and we're so far gone.
So because of the nature of the level, these ripples are kind of random. Which is probably the biggest difficulty factor in the level. It doesn't really help when you've already hit the ripples. It honestly might be easier to practice this in Zen mode or something, I don't know. Oh yeah, and then everyone's favorite part of the level. Yeah, this level's hard to practice. This is a piece of work. We can skip the intro section. The intro is tight, but it's at least pretty consistent.
Those days got away. Hope you find solace in this. I was 50 when I first felt loneliness.
Terrible.
Cut my head, only listen to this. Grown apart, and we're so far gone. But I'm waving the white flag, sending my love back, move on. Laughing at me, you kick me when I'm down. Oh, how can you pretend you didn't say that now? Wish you the best. I know that you're stressed out.
This is definitely the easier of the ripple sections.
But you know in small towns, what goes around comes back around.
The first one and this fucking ending are definitely the hardest parts of the level. Wow. Can't even get the first fucking hug without dying. I just gotta pretend like I'm still no hit, you know? Wow. Classic mellow. Yeah, don't do that. What I just did, don't do that. So here's how you beat the level. You don't get hit. Easy.
I was 50 when I first felt loneliness. Cut my head, only listen.
Yeah, I think the way the ripples got a bit fucked up.
Grown apart, and we're so forgotten.
You just go right over the top.
But I'm waving
Wow.
white flags.
Well, that makes it easier, yeah.
My love back, move on.
Great level. It did it again! It did it again! Yeah, like I said, the ripples are not super consistent. Yeah, it might be practice mode issue. Also, I feel like you should be able to do what I just did. Never trust practice mode. Practice mode is a dirty liar. I don't think the hug is positioned correctly, guys. I'm gonna be real. Jesus, I might have to just practice this in normal mode. Just play it enough times to figure it out. Jesus Christ. That's definitely more doable than with towers, since it's not fucking 7 minutes long. I love burst starts.
Back together again. Didn't get along. Been 4 years since.
That almost works somehow.
Had it all, and you were my friend. Those days got away. Hope you find solace in this. I was 50 when I first felt loneliness. Cut my head, only listen to this. Grown apart, and we're so forgotten.
Yeah. I think that's not how you're meant to do that. I think getting that hard at the end might honestly be easiest. Yeah, what is up with practice mode? It just made this a completely different part. It's so weird.
But you
I'm gonna completely nail the ending. Here we go. How did I not get hit? I mean, I might have hit the ripple, which doesn't really count. Oh, fuck. The player aims are, bad. I'm getting better at the first ripple section. The second ripple section is all over the place because it basically got turned into a completely different part in practice mode. Wow, that was an awful burst.
Back together again. Didn't get along. Been 4
It's a miracle I got through that.
We had it all, and you were my friend. This day's got away. Hope you find solace in this.
Holy shit, solace.
I was 50 when
No way.
I first felt loneliness.
I should not, yeah, I should have gotten out of there.
Cut my head.
This is like a memory section with a bit of improvisation required.
Grown apart, and we're so far gone. But I'm waving the white flag, sending my love back. Move on.
Okay, get the heart that way, I guess.
Laughing at me, you kick me when I'm down. Oh, how can you pretend you didn't say that? No,
There's probably just so many bullets going around.
wish you the best. I know that you're stressed out, but you know in small towns what goes around comes back around.
Fucking god, this ending is so awful. If only practice mode actually worked for this ending. Wouldn't that be something great? Also, I did this completely wrong. We do not stand bursts.
Piece it all back together again. Didn't get along. Been 4 years since we had it all, and you were my friend.
Abusing hitbox is the level.
This day's got away. Hope you find solace in this. I was 50 when I first felt loneliness. Cut my head, only listen to this. Grown apart, and we're so far gone.
pretty good. Just one fuck up. Alright, this part is funky.
You kick me when I'm down. Oh, how can you pretend you didn't say that? No. Wish you the best. I know that you're stressed out.
It doesn't help that the time warps affect the ripples.
In small towns,
Definitely doesn't help.
comes back around.
Goddamn. Fucking player aims. There's probably like a certain way, a certain order to do the hugs that's best. I might just have to watch Jan's video and see if they figure that out. Cause yeah, where you start in going around that circle definitely influences a lot. I'm gonna try practice mode again, I'll give it another chance. Okay, well, I should probably start at a time when the fucking ripples are fired. What is going on? Why are the enemies inside the arena? Okay, those are bubbles. Okay. What is that? Oh my god. I actually got pranked into thinking those were the enemies. But still, those bubbles probably shouldn't be there. You know, you kinda need the outside of the arena to dodge things. Okay, no, the enemies are definitely... What? How is this happening? God, this pattern is hard. Jesus. Practice mode is a failure. You see the fucking background? Nice screen clear. Yeah, there's no way I'm getting anything out of practice mode for this level. God damn it. I could eventually learn this though. I just really wished I could actually practice the ending of the level. That would be nice. That's definitely a part that you need to practice. Bad burst. I don't know, like why I'm resetting, like I was gonna fucking 100% the level on that attempt.
Piece it all back together again. Didn't get along. Been 4 years since we had it all, and find solace in this. I was 50 when I first felt loneliness. Cut my head, only listen to this. Grown apart, and we're so forgotten. But I'm waving the white flag, sending my love back. Move on.
Easy.
Laugh at me, you kick me when I'm down. Oh, how can you pretend you didn't say that? No. Wish you the best. I know that you're stressed out,
Good attempt.
but you know in small towns what goes around comes back around.
I'm gonna watch how Jan does this part. I don't think the level's tedious. I mean, fucking tower's tedious. My god. Oh. Jan starts at the place I've been starting, but does it counterclockwise. That's interesting.
Piece it all back together again.
Key covers.
Didn't get along, been 4 years since.
Wow. Awful.
Had it all, and you were my friend.
How did I do that?
Those days got away. Hope
Lucas
you
has blessed the
find
stream.
solace in this. I was 50 when I first felt loneliness.
I will say, I suppose the fact that the ripples are basically randomized could be classified as tedious. It is kind of dumb.
Grown apart, and we're so forgotten. But I'm waving the white flag, sending my love back. Move on.
Especially when so many of the patterns are dependent on being in a pretty specific location.
Laugh at me, you kick me when I'm down. Oh, how can you pretend you didn't say that? No.
Zen mode. That definitely helps with that. Oh, it's at 90 speed. I'm definitely not beating this on stream. I can assure everybody watching of that. James, this is one of those levels where I do not want to learn it at 90% speed. Since timing is such a big aspect of it.
Didn't get along. Been 4 years since we had it all, and you were my friend. Those days got away. Hope you find solace in this. I was 50 when I first felt loneliness.
Me when I find out what ripple seed that I got on White Flag.
Only listen to this. Grown apart and we're so forgotten. But I'm waving the white flag, sending my love back. Move on.
Holy shit. I did the first part. No way. Guys, that's crazy. That's what we call progress.
Laugh at me, you kick me when I'm down. Oh, how can you pretend you didn't say that?
No! What? What?
I know that you're stressed out.
What the fuck?
You know, in small towns,
Why am I at the ending no hit?
it's back around.
Why am I at the ending no hit? Why am I at the ending no hit? What the? Wait, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't fucking know. Does it like, did anything get highlighted red? I didn't see anything turn red. I might be blind. Oh my god. What the fuck? Yeah, we gotta rewatch that. I refuse to believe I did not get hit in that second ripple part. How? Something had to turn red. Something had to turn red, like right before it went out of the arena. Like, what? I don't know. I'm gonna be real. I do not use Zen mode, like, ever. So I don't even know if it does mark them as red or if it just lets you not get hit. Hold on. Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely got hit like 20 times.
But I'm waving.
Okay, I just got pranked by Zen mode, that's what happened. It looked convincing though, other than the parts where I completely fucked up. You know, if you look past those parts, that was a pretty good run. Why did they change that about Zen mode? Like that's one of the parts that like makes Zen mode helpful.
Didn't get along. Been 4 years since.
I almost did the end section perfectly. When those well, I mean, there's no way to tell because the hitboxes are so tight, and I couldn't even see if I got hit. That's really dumb. I should practice it in the editor.
Back together again.
I'm sure the editor is a lot more reliable than fucking practice mode
Been
is.
4 years since we had it all, and you were my friend. Those days got away. Hope you find solace in this. I was 50 when I first felt loneliness.
The fucking ripple seed.
Cut my head, only listen to this. Grown apart, and we're so far gone. But I'm waving the white flag, sending my love back. Move on.
I can't even see what I get hit on most of the time in there.
Laugh at me, you kick me when I'm down. Oh, how can you pretend you didn't say that? No.
I'm definitely gonna be rewatching VODs and recordings of me doing these parts. That's typically how I learn harder patterns, honestly. Or, not harder, but like tighter patterns. Gotta find the safe spots.
What goes around comes back around.
Yeah, there were probably like at least 20 parts where I got hit in the Zen mode. Of course, I can't fucking know, because for some reason it doesn't mark the bullets you hit. Why was that changed? That's so weird. Like, that's the most useful part of Zen mode. Alright, I'm gonna get one more attempt in, and then I'll, do your challenge, I guess. Because this is definitely going to require some off-stream analysis from me. And possibly some editor practicing. Yeah, we're at that level.
Didn't get along. Been 4 years since we had it all, and you were my friend.
I think I've gotten the intro down at least, other than the bursts, of course. It's hard to get bursts down. They're a bit, you know, they're a bit flexible.
I was 50 when I first felt lonely.
I'm getting really good at this first part, I'd say.
Cut my hair.
like the worst ripple seed possible, because it really fucks up with getting the heart. Yes, I'm going to refer to them as ripple seeds. Gotta get that, gotta get the, white flag, random seed percent.
You kick me when I'm down. Oh, how can you pretend you didn't say that? No. Wish you the best. I know that you're stressed out, but you know in small towns what goes around comes back around.
James, I barely read chat when I'm in a level, so I just read the VC message. And, sure.
But I'm waving the white flag, sending my love back.
What is this? Ah. Oh god.
But I'm waving the
Oh god.
white flag, sending my love back. Move on. But I'm waving the white flag, sending my love back. Move on.
Something just ain't working for me.
Oh my god. Oh, that's awful. What does the second number do for the bullets? Right, challenge. Oh yeah, easy. Damn, you can't go over 200%. That sucks. Close. Alright, watch. I'm just gonna stay in the center and not get hit. It almost happened. That might be the best strat, honestly, because the echo makes it impossible for me to even decipher where the openings are. There we go. Raise points. Raise points. Alright, now for the real fun. Holy shit. Yeah, that goes interesting. I'm not really in a creating mindset right now. Especially, now that I'm fucking devoted to being this, I guess. Alright, the first ever 200% completion. Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god! Wait, it's so fast that the fucking cooldown isn't long, or is too long. The cooldown for the zips is too long. Shit! Oh my god, it's just barely short enough. Fuck! Alright, first try, easy. Fucking easy bubble. 150% might be possible. I'm not doing that. Alright, what's my score? Let's see, what's my score? That's impressive. Alright, terrible. Well, that's where I'm gonna stop. I need to, get Tower and, Big Farted Church uploaded, I guess. Oh yeah, I'm in Shadowplay. Goodbye.